today's practice we are going to work on our inner leg and outer hip as well. We'll also do some movement for the whole body, head, neck and shoulders too. So find a comfortable way to sit. You could be with crossed legs or you could be kneeling. If you need a bit of support, stop the back from rounding, then take a block or a cushion and sit on that as well. You can either go across your shins, or maybe some of you will bring one foot into the groin for like a half lotus position. See what feels good for your body. And then we'll place our hands onto our knees or our thighs and close the eyes. Take a deep breath. Take another deep breath and breathe out long. And take a few moments to fully arrive where you are. Feel your sitting bones, so the bones that you sit on, and let them sink into the ground beneath you. With every exhalation now, let your arms become a little bit heavier. The shoulders get a little bit more relaxed with every exhale. Your face is a little bit softer now. Maybe you're resting your tongue behind your top teeth. And there's a bit of space between your jaw and even a bit of space between the lips. And with your next inhale, let the crown of your head drift up toward the ceiling above you. And let the back of your head float back a little into the space behind you. A couple more moments here. Feeling now with a little more awareness the sensations of your body, the feeling of aliveness in your body, and also the feeling, the sensation of your breath in your body. Noticing also the sound of your breath. You might have naturally started to deepen your breath now. Inhaling and exhaling through the nose. And then when you are ready, flicker your eyes open. Let your eyelids stay quite heavy. Take a big breath in and sweep both of your arms up over your head. As you exhale, bring your left hand to the floor. Bend your left elbow and lean over to the left side. Soften the right elbow and drop your head forward slightly. Good. Inhale, rise back up through your center. Exhale. Right fingers or right hand to the floor. Soften right elbow. Lean over to that side. Try not to rock forward or back here with the body, but you can let the head roll forward slightly. Good. A couple more on each side. So as you inhale, rising up, you might like to also spiral the wrists here. And then as you exhale, over to one side. Good. Inhale, come back up through center, over to right side. Maybe finding a little bit more space every time. And maybe not. We'll do one more on each side. Really good. Coming all the way back up into your center. Really nice. Bring both hands down beside your hips. Lift your knees and unravel your legs. Recross your legs if you were in a cross-legged position. If you were in a kneeling position, you might like to just shuffle around a little bit and then return. So now with our legs crossed in our less dominant position, it might feel a bit awkward at first, so take a moment to arrive. And then take another big breath in here, reach both arms up over the head. As you exhale, float your hands down onto your shoulders. So we'll spread our fingers over the shoulder joint. And we'll keep the elbows really wide and we'll gently circle them around. Using your breath here and maybe trying to tie in the direction of your movement with an inhale and an exhale. So as you inhale, shoulders come up, and as you exhale, shoulders go back. And then you can start to make those circles a little bit bigger now if you like. And what you can do is bring the elbows closer together in front of the body. And the closer the elbows come together and the longer they stay together as you move elbows up, the more you might start to feel this across the upper back. Really good. A couple more like that, softly moving. Can you imagine you're moving your arms through honey? Good, and then let the arms fall effortlessly down by the sides with the palms facing upward. Take a breath there. Exhale everything out. Good. Let's bring our hands down now, ahead of our knees, and then lift forward so that you can unravel your legs, coming into a tabletop position. I'll just turn around. So knees are under shoulders. Sorry. Knees are under hips, hands are under shoulders. Spread your fingers, lengthen your arms, and feel maybe this kind of gentle spreading of your upper back. Tailbone is in a neutral position, so not lifting and not overly tucked either. Find that middle ground. From here, lean to the left. Then come back to center and lean to the right. Come back to center and lean forwards now, shoulders going a bit past the wrists, still spreading the upper back. And then push away slightly with the hands so the shoulders move back away from the wrists. We'll do that again. So shoulders over wrists, lean to the left. Come back through center, lean to the right. Come back through center, lean forwards, shoulders go past the wrists, Gently, but with intention, pushing back. Shoulders move behind the wrists. Cool. We're going to do that one more time. We're going to add in one more thing. So shoulders over the wrists. Lean to the left. Lean to the right. Come back to center. This time, grip the ground. So dig your fingertips into your mat. And from the fingertips, we're going to pull the shoulders forwards past the wrists. And then we're going to spread the fingers out and push the shoulders back. And then keep pushing the shoulders back, pushing your hips back now all the way to your heels. Have a wriggle here, left to right side, so sway the hips. And then bring your forearms down to the ground. Make sure you have some space in between your belly, in between your knees for your belly. And then from here, bring your right hand in, stack your left hand on top, and let your forehead come all the way down. Close your eyes for a moment. And now take a breath into the back of your body. Spreading the upper back with the breath. And one more breath here. And then when you are ready, lift your head. Shift your gaze, look forward, reach your hands out again, and then lift your hips a little bit off of your heels so that you can tuck your toes under. Walk your hands all the way back toward your knees so that you're now in a kneeling position at the back of your mat. Kneel tall, and we'll do a few shoulder rolls here. Toes can be tucked for as long as you feel comfortable with. And we work into the plantar fascia of the feet, circling the shoulders. At the same time, slowly moving shoulders up together and then down the back. Let's turn the hands now so that the thumbs are facing forward slightly. You might feel the more you begin to roll the shoulders, the more the palms want to even face forwards. Let's move really slowly for this last one all together. Good, and then from here, we'll bring our fingertips to the floor, just ahead of our knees. Start to lift your knees a couple inches off the floor, and as you do, press your heels down and lift your hips up. So we'll come into a forward fold at the back of the mat. You'll walk your hands back now towards your feet. Have your feet about hips distance apart, maybe a little wider. And then forward fold here, or ragdoll. So coming over the legs, taking hold of opposite elbows. Having a deep, deep bend in the knees here, so the joints are soft. Bringing your chin slightly in toward your chest, so the back of your neck is long. Maybe you are also now starting to sway a little from left to right. Nod your head yes. Shake your head no. And then release the hands to the earth, and we'll roll up slowly into standing. Your head will be the last thing to lift. When you arrive in standing, take a moment here. Do a roll of the shoulders and bring a softness into your knees so that your feet are fully rooted into the ground. Take a deep breath in, reach both arms up over your head. As you exhale, bend the elbows, bend the knees, and softly bow forward again, pressing your tail up and back as you fold. Coming into a halfway lift, so we'll bring our hands onto our shins, knees, or thighs. Straighten out your arms, straighten out your legs any amount, they don't have to be locked out. Press your hands into your legs back into your hands, and squeeze a little bit here under the armpit. Chin to the chest, back of the neck stays long. One more breath in here. And then as you exhale now, slowly coming down, bring the hands back to the ground ahead of the feet. Bend the knees as much as you need. Pat the earth, and we'll walk our hands forwards into downward facing dog. So fingers are spread. We're pressing through the tips of the fingers and the base of the thumb. And we're lengthening the inner arm here. Tailbone is pushing back and up. Belly button is pressing back in between the space and the legs. I'm keeping my feet moving here, pedaling my heels one at a time. Again, a bit like you're moving your heels through honey. Good, and then let's all come up really high onto the balls of our feet. Heels are lifted as we bend the knees deeply and send the tailbone back and up, back and up. Pressing belly gently back onto thighs. Good. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, float the shoulders forwards and bring both knees down to the ground. Release the top of your feet. Take a round of cat and cow from here, lifting the tail, lifting the chest as you inhale. Pause. And now let the next part of this movement begin in the tailbone, so tuck your tail under. Feel the low back, the mid back, and then the upper back starts to round, and you can finally bring your chin in towards your chest. Good. Inhale, coming into a neutral spine. From here, extend your left leg back behind you. Sole of the foot comes to the floor. Sorry, ball of the foot comes to the floor. And then from here, really lift your left leg and take it out to the right side. So you're taking it across your right leg. You're still on the ball of your left foot. And then from here, we'll come down onto our forearms. So one forearm at a time, coming down. Let's bring thumbs quite close together. Now what you can do is begin to press your hips back and let your left foot slide backwards a little. You might even like to take the left foot even further over to the right side. Pausing here for a few rounds of breath. Gently drawing your right hip back. Let the head bow down heavy now. Pressing your hips back as much as feels good for you. Good, one more breath in here. And then inhale, as you lift your head, shift your gaze forwards, walk your hands back under your shoulders. Lift your left leg and let it circle all the way back around, and then all the way over to the left now. Sole of the left foot comes to the floor. Pause there for a moment. Press through the big toe pad of your left foot. And we start to now really feel that inner seam of the leg. And we begin to invite this rejuvenation of that inner seam of the leg, the fresh blood circulating, the stimulation of the nerves of the inner leg. Good. You might feel now okay to come down onto your forearms. Again, pressing your hips lightly back. Maybe walking your hands further forward. It might even be an option for you to stack your hands one on top of the other and bring your forehead all the way to the ground. And then wherever you are, either on your forearms, on your hands, or head on the hands, work on pressing the hips lightly back. Relaxing here the face and the jaw. Still pressing into the big toe pad of the left foot. Good. When you're ready, inhale, lifting your head if it's low. Everybody finding their way back onto hands. From here, root down through your left hand and we'll rotate to the right side, reaching right arm up with a big breath in. And then as you exhale, sweep your right hand under your body. Reach for your left toes, place your right shoulder and the right side of your face onto the floor. Pausing here for a moment. And now start to walk your left hand forward, reach it forward and press lightly into the pinky finger side of your hand. As we invite a bit of a stretch now for the lats. And we'll stay here for 2 more rounds of breath. Good. Inhale. Walk your right hand back in front of your face. Press through left hand, so that you can sweep your right arm all the way up. Look forward and then reach your right hand forward and place it down under your right shoulder. Bring the weight back into the hand so that you can lift your left leg and circle it all the way back. Bring your left knee in to meet your right knee. From here, tuck your toes, press your hips back toward your heels. Walk your hands forwards, a brief moment in child's pose. Exhale everything out. And then from here, sliding the hands slowly back toward the knees, rolling into kneeling at the back of your mat. Take a long, slow shoulder circle here. Finger pads to the earth ahead of the knees. Lift the knees, push the heels down and lift the tail up, forward fold at the back of your mat. Softening the knees, softening the elbows, hang out here, ragdoll. Head is heavy. Bend the knees as much as you need. Roll up to standing. Take your time. Head and neck will be the last thing to lift. Good. Circle your shoulders. Soften your knees. Big breath in, arms go up over the head, really soft, joints are soft. Exhale, bend the elbows, bend the knees, lift the tail as you fold forward with a flat back. Half lift as you inhale, hands onto shins, knees or thighs. Lift the tail, lift the chest, straighten out the legs, any amount. Exhale, everything out. Belly lowers toward the thighs, bend the knees, hands to the earth, pat the earth, slowly one hand at a time, and we'll return to downward facing dog. Couple breaths in downward facing dog. Remember, you can either deeply bend your knees, you can keep the heels really high, or you can pedal the feet. Good. Inhale, look forward. Bring the weight of the shoulders forwards as you exhale and slowly lower both knees to the ground. Release the top of the feet. Take a round of cat-cow, lifting tail, lifting chest as you inhale, drawing the tailbone down, round through low back, mid back and upper back, chin to chest as you exhale. Good. Inhale, you're in neutral spine. Lift the right leg now, step it all the way back. Ball of the right foot comes to the floor. When you're ready, lift the right leg and send it over to the left, as far as you like. Again, ball of the right foot is on the floor. Let's travel onto our forearms from here. Thumbs come close to one another as we begin to press the hips slowly back. Bowing the head. The head is really heavy. Staying here for a few rounds of breath, having the freedom, if you like, to step right foot further left or further back, whatever feels good for you. bring a little bit your left hip back now. Right hip slightly forward. Breath is full and deep and long. Good. Inhale, lift your head. Shift your gaze, look forward. Start to walk your hands back, placing them under your shoulders. Weight comes back into the hands so that you can lift your right leg up. Circle it all the way around to the right now. Ball of the right foot, sole of the right foot comes to the floor. Take a few moments here to pause. Again, start to feel and notice sensation as it begins to arise. You might stay here, this might feel like enough. Or you might begin to, again, travel down onto forearms. Starting to press hips back. For some, maybe stacking the hands and bringing forehead to the hands. Wherever you are, working on pressing now the hips slightly back. Tailbones up. And pressing through to that ball of the right toe. Keep that connection. We'll stay here for 2 more rounds of breath. Good. From wherever you are now, we'll rise back up onto our hands. Root down through your right hand as you lift left arm up and off. Rotate to the left. Big inhale. Exhale, sweep. Left hand under the body. You'll reach as far as you can for right foot. Feet comes to the floor. And then the right hand reaches forwards. Pressing into pinky finger side of right hand. The more you reach your right hand forward, the more you'll feel this maybe across the back and the lats. Good, 1 more breath in here. And then right hand slides back by your head. Big breath in, push yourself all the way up. Left arm reaches up and out to the side. And then as you exhale, reach left hand forward. Place it back down under your left shoulder. Lightly lift your right leg up, circle it back, and then bring your right knee to meet your left. Have a little shuffle here, and then press your hips back to your heels, coming into child's pose. Let's bring forearms to the floor. And let's stack the hands, one on top of the other. Make a little bit of space again for your belly in between your thighs and bring your forehead to your hands if possible. If that's too low, then bring your elbows onto the floor and rest the head in the heel of the hands. From wherever you are now, close your eyes. Good. When you're ready, lift your head, shift your gaze. Come all the way to kneeling, slowly. And then fall onto your left hip so that you can slide your legs around to the right. Come more into the center of your mat. And we'll begin to extend the legs out, coming for straddle. So, a couple of options now. If you find it very hard to straighten out your legs in this position, that's okay. You're going to put a bit of a bend into the knees. It can be quite a deep bend actually, or a little bit less. Depends what feels right for you. You don't really want to have like a big pulling sensation on the back of the knee joint. So make sure that even if you can comfortably straighten out the legs, that you're not feeling this big pull across the back of the knee. So for some people, it will feel most comfortable today to elevate the hips a little bit. So you'll take a blanket or a cushion or a block and place it under your sitting bones so that your bum is slightly lifted off the floor. I'll just show you by rolling up this blanket. So you'll be up a little bit higher with the hips, and this is going to help actually to allow the torso to come forward without this deep rounding of the back. And you might decide that today you'll take your hands behind your hips and lift your chest and stay there, or bring your hands inside the legs, but keep the arms straight and lean forward just a little. This might feel like enough. And we'll all start here anyways. So maybe your hips are elevated or maybe not. But starting here with the hands inside the legs and the back is long. Okay, and then closing the eyes now. If it feels good on your body, you'll begin to walk your hands forwards, allowing the torso to now come further forward, but still working on this long straight back, so neutral spine. If you've walked your hands forward and you find you're rounding now the back, then take a step back and know that it's better to stay here with the chest up than come forward and feel the back really rounded. In this instance anyway. It can be different every time you do the pose. If your hands are further forwards, and you might feel now quite comfortable coming onto your forearms. Drop your gaze down toward the earth, wherever you are. Close the eyes maybe, after you reopen them. Some now might feel ready even to come down a little further, so you can come forward slightly more, maybe stacking the hands and bringing your head to your hands. And wherever you are, we'll stay here for another 3 rounds of breath. And then when you're ready, inhale, lift your head from wherever you are. Remember, some of us will already be up here. Take a long, slow breath here. And then lean the weight of your body back again, so you're fully on your sitting bones. Take hold of the back of your knees and step your feet in slowly. I'm just going to unravel my blanket. And then from this position, we're going to travel down onto our forearms. So one forearm at a time, coming down. And we'll tick-tock the legs from left to right. Letting the low back roll across the earth. Good, and then let's come a little further down now. So you can still be on your forearms, but start to walk elbows toward hips so that you're coming further toward the floor, maybe still windscreen wipering or tick-tocking the knees. Let's exhale everything out with a big sigh. And then from here, let's come into happy baby. So what we do is we lift the legs so the soles of the feet are facing up. We take hold of the outer edges of the feet with the hands and lightly draw the knees toward the armpits, holding here just for a couple moments, maybe rocking a little bit from left to right. Drawing the tail slightly down to elongate the low back in this position. Really good. And then very last thing we'll do is we'll dangle the legs. So extend the legs up. Have the joints soft, knees soft, ankles soft. And then let the arms fall down by your sides. If you do have a blanket, it might feel really nice to place it under your hips here. So we let now the head of our thigh bone kind of fall into the hip socket. And see if you can find the feeling of weightlessness in the joints. As we help now to redirect all the deoxygenated blood back to the heart. Good. When you're ready, bending your knees and placing the soles of your feet on the floor. You can either extend your legs now, coming into full Shavasana position, or you can keep the soles of your feet on the floor and drop your knees together. If that feels nicer on your low back, you can go there. Coming to our final pose, our resting pose. Take a breath from your toes up to your hips, and then take an out breath from your hips back to your toes. Inhale from your toes up to your waist. Exhale from your waist to your toes. Inhale from your toes to your chest. Exhale from your chest to your toes. Inhale from your toes to the crown of your head. Exhale from your crown all the way back down to your toes. And then let your body be in control of your breath now. Take a deep breath in through your nose. Release a sigh out through your mouth. Wriggling your fingers, wriggling your toes. Taking some deeper breaths here, and then when you are ready, reaching up over the head. Long stretch. Exhale everything out. Step the soles of your feet onto the floor. Roll over to the left. Rest your head in your hands for a moment. Take a breath. And then place your right hand down in front of your chest. Slowly press yourselves up to seated. Let your head be the very last thing to lift. Alright, crossing your legs. Sitting up nice and tall, either resting the hands on the knees or bringing the hands together in front of the heart. And from wherever you are today, bowing your head to seal in your practice for today. And I'll say thank you for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed your practice.